what was the importance for you to win the tag team titles with your son Dominik at WrestleMania Backlash?
To be able to create history, and not just as a solo performer or superstar, but to be able to create history next to my son. There's a lot of moments that will be talked about for years, if not for the history books in wrestling, where I've managed to accomplish many things, winning the Royal Rumble, having the longest time being in the Royal Rumble, becoming world champion. For the first time, you got to see a superstar with my size and my weight, Hispanic masked wrestler. But now, you can add my son to the mix, who will eventually continue with the Mysterio legacy. And that's beautiful to be able to share that and to know that you created history next to one of your loved family members. Love my son so much.
Yeah, and when did you realize Dominik wanted to be a wrestler as well?
So he asked mom and myself at the age of 19 that he wanted to try and break into this business, try to become a wrestler. And it came out of nowhere because I wasn't expecting it. I never pushed him or forced him to try to get into wrestling. So it kind of just came within him. That was very shocking for both of us as parents. But at the same time, I was very excited to be able to step in the ring with him and see his growth, witness it firsthand. And I remember telling him, son, I'll be the first one to tell you if you don't have what it takes. But no, he surprised me.
Oh, that's good. And what was the best advice you gave Dominik when he told you that he wanted to be a wrestler? Was there any specific advice that you gave him besides telling him, if you're not good enough, I'll tell you?
Yeah, so it's obviously very hard for him because we've seen a lot of second or third generation wrestlers that, it's very hard to fill what their parents did or grandparents did in this industry. And I told Dominik, from the beginning, I said, son, just don't try to be me. Just be yourself. And slowly within time, if you're passionate about this, my fans will become your fans, and you will create a set of new fans that will love you for who you are. But you have to be authentic. You have to be original. Don't try to follow in my shoes and become another Rey Mysterio. You have to become yourself. And I believe he's taken that to heart and is trying to create his own path, which I'm very proud of.
And, for those who don't know, can you just tell me or tell us, in this case, the meaning of a lucha mask and why Dominik is not wearing one yet?
So obviously the mask is representation of our rich history in lucha libre and the protection of your identity, for you to be able to have a double life, in a way. You become a wrestler when you put the mask on, and when you don't have it, you're a family man. You're the father or the brother or the son of someone. And for years, the tradition in lucha libre has been passed from generations to generations. My uncle one day passed on the Mysterio name to me so I can carry it on and turn it into whatever I thought the name meant. It obviously exceeded my expectations, and the opportunities have been incredible in my career. So the reason why Dominik is not wearing a mask now was because his evolution happened so fast. And fans had already seen him on TV for years. So it would kind of contradict the fact of wearing a mask, because obviously the wrestlers or the luchadores protect their identity. Yeah. With Dominik, we might start something new and different, almost in a way what I did. At one point in WCW, I wrestled without a mask. When I came to WWE and I signed my first contract, I brought the masked wrestler back, Rey Mysterio. So hoping that one day my son will earn the respect and gain the credit to carry on the Mysterio legacy when I decide to retire.
Well, speaking of retired, if you had to retire today, would you be happy with all you achieved?
Most definitely. I have accomplished more than I would ever have thought I can accomplish. And I'm very thankful with God for all these opportunities that have come my way and that I've taken advantage of. And that's something very important said, because a lot of people uh, have a dream, but they don't pursue it. They don't follow it. They don't want to work hard. You have to. You have to. There's no other way. It's your dream, and you're the one that has to put the work behind it. So, in order to make dreams a reality, you have to go with it. You have to put in the work, the time, the effort, everything that goes along with hard work. With me, a lot of doors opened up that I never thought would open up. And if I were to hang up the mask now, I would say thank you, because it has been a very long and beautiful, lustrous career that I can enjoy
Yeah.
after I hang up.
And, speaking of your career, that match at WrestleMania Backlash is probably one of the highlights of your career so far. But what are the other, let's say, top 3 matches for you that you think for some reason define your career or help you? What are those top 3 matches that you are most proud of?
So I think the one that really put me on the map, and that fans started talking about after they saw that match, and if they didn't see it at the time, they at one point went back and rewatched it or watched it for the first time. Halloween Havoc, 1997, versus Eddie Guerrero in WCW, Mask versus Cruiserweight title. That was one match that, still to this day, that match was, to me, perfect to a T. I would not change anything in that match. Everything was perfect that night. Eddie and I tried to recreate some of those moments, and we just couldn't do it. So that was a night that everything lined up perfectly, and it turned out the way it should have turned out. Another one that defines my career and kind of puts me on the map was the Royal Rumble, in 2006. And then, of course, moving on to WrestleMania, winning the world title. So I think those 3 matches are the ones that kind of lined up. And if fans had to talk about my career, I think those were the ones that would stand out.
Yeah. And is there any superstar that you still would like to face one-on-one?
This younger generation, they're doing incredible. And I would love to get a chance to compete with this younger generation, just kind of to test myself, to see if I still have what it takes. I had a little bit of that with Andrade, and we had great chemistry, incredible, but overall, that I would love to step into the ring with Finn Balor and do a one-on-one. Would love to do a one-on-one with AJ, on a big stage, WrestleMania, and you talk about world titles. That's eventually your goal in this industry, So Roman Reigns is someone that I would love to face in the near future. And right now that we're champions, I would love to get a chance to step in the ring next to my son and put the titles on the line against Street Profits, or even the Usos.
Yeah, that would be nice. And talked about Finn Balor. What about Santos Escobar? Would you think it would be a great match?
I think it would be an awesome match. The fact that I had a chance to share the ring with his father, and that he tells this story where when he saw me for the first time, he wasn't a wrestler yet. He was a fan. When he saw me wrestle alongside his father, he asked him who I was and why I was so small and so cool and doing what I was doing in the ring. At the time, never did either of them know, nor myself, think that I would become who I have become, in WWE. So to see all these years pass and to see where I'm at and to see where he's at the beginning of his career in WWE is awesome. And to be able to face him one day we're both second generation. So I think it would be a great clash.
Yeah. Last question. WWE is coming to live shows again in July, with crowd, Texas, first 3 shows already confirmed. Looking forward to see the fans again now with like a packed arena.
Yes, 100%, 1000%. Been waiting for this moment for a very long time. It's like every week that we do SmackDown, I always ask, when are we having fans again? When are we having fans? Finally, they made the announcement, and we're very excited because the first show that gets fans is SmackDown. So I cannot wait to be able to perform in front of fans and to see the reaction on my son, because he's a pandemic boy.
Yeah.
He started his career during the pandemic. So to be able to share the ring with him and see his reaction and just hear the vibe off of the fans and see how he reacts to it is just unbelievable, man. I can't wait for that moment.